Okay, today we're going to install a 10-inch vent, and I also have here a 6-inch vent which installs exactly the same way. Now what makes this a 10-inch vent is this 10-inch hole here. 10 inches by 10 inches. It's not the height, because you can get this vent in an extra tall vent for tile. This particular vent is called a gooseneck vent. It's made of 26 gauge galvalume sheet metal and typically used to either vent an attic or a stove. As a stove vent pipe, the ductwork is typically 10 inches wide. This is another gooseneck vent, again low profile. It's a 6-inch vent, 6 inches by 6 inches. Now this and the 4-inch are typically used for a dryer vent, and also a bathroom vent is its typical installation. It can also be used to vent an attic, but usually there's other vents, 1x4 vents and ridge vents are typically used to vent attics, but on some homes these are used because of the configuration of the panels or the home, etc. So now what I'm going to do in this case is, as you can see, I have a rack of shingles going up. So I basically started the panel. I'm on my key marks, my vertical marks. So I'm basically going to finish the shingles out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install both of these vents in this rack. One of the things to consider is if the vent ends up where the shingles are, where the seams of the shingles are, the only difference is you'll just have to do 2 shingles at a time to get your rows right in order to put the vent down. So I'm just going to randomly place a 10-inch hole and a 4-inch hole in this rack. Just like if there was a stove vent and we were laying shingles, you don't really lay out the panel to go around the stove vent. It just kind of happens where it happens. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I got to lay up to my vent hole here. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay these couple of shingles up, same way I did the others that I did yesterday. Oop, I didn't lay that one on the line. I don't know why. The line's right there. Space Cadet. Okay, as you can see, I'm up to the hole. Now, in some locales, they'll install the vent right now. It's not the way I do it. I want another row here because I want this vent acting as a shingle itself. So I'm going to go ahead and lay another row. typically you might experience a pipe or something right here. And you have to cut around it before. You put it You might have to cut around it before you put the shingle on because there's a pipe sticking up. Sometimes the pipe, there'll be a hole here. Watch out, you don't want to put stuff down in there because that's going right down into your fan for your stove. Sometimes the duct will come up and they'll lay it flat and tack it around here, so it'll be flat and you can trim around it. There we go. So that's where I want to put my vent. Got it over my hole. It's down on my shingles. Now I'm going to install the vent and the rest of the shingles will go over. I'm missing one important ingredient. Roofing cement. Alright, so I've got my vent. I know where I'm going to put it. I like to bend the top or the bottom in just a little bit. And what that does is that makes it so that it'll sit nice and tight when I put it down. Another thing you can do, if the hole is flat, like mine is now, is you can mark it. Mark the vent so you know where to put it. The two back corners will suffice. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put roof cement on the bottom. Now on the back, I can pretty much cover it, not going to be a problem. But on the front, where it's going to go over the shingle, I'm going to stay inside a little bit so that the roofing cement doesn't ooze out when I press it down. You really don't want to glob this on because your stove vent is down there and you'll see roof cement come down into your ductwork. So then in the front you just want to stay inside a little bit. You just want to seal it. That's all you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be caked up there. This prevents rodents, water, all kinds of stuff. Now another thing that we do is I'll put some roof cement down here in this corner. And again, don't pile it in there. Just get it in there, and the idea is to seal that corner. Oops. These back corners back here, it's sealing these back corners on the inside. So now I've got my marks. I'm just going to put it down where I had it marked out at. And remember, it's got roof cement on it, so we don't want to move it around much. And I'm going to use the holes that are provided to get it installed initially. Now I'm not going to nail down here, but where I'm going to nail is right there where this shingle is going to cover. This shingle is going to come over right there, so I want to start my nails right here. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now I'm going to nail it off every 4 to 6 inches. All the way around. Okay, all right. Now this is how you can get your lines off. whenever you come to a vent like this shingle can get off really quick. So you have to be sure to put your shingles in the right place. If you look, there's a cut in the shingle, typically by the factory, and that mine is at 6 inches. I've seen them at 5, but this one's at 6. So you can use that as a gauge, because this is where the shingle needs to be. You see, it's the outside, inside, outside, inside. So I'm putting it right where it needs to be here. There's only about an inch of that shingle that's going to be left, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it all the way through. Shingles are starting to get hot. And then I'm just going to put it in place. And right on the line, looks good, I like it. Right on the line, right on there, looks good, I like it. Trim a little off. I don't need it touching. Alright, now the next shingle. Cement. Move that out of the way quick. So we're going to put it where it goes here. And one of the things that you can do is measure up how much. There's 6 1/4, 6 1/2. 6 1/2 is just above the stickum. So straight up with that cut. Straight up with that cut. How about straight down? Okay, so this row here is going to hit, so we got one more. Put it where it needs to go. Looks like about an inch or so. Let's go with 1 1/2 inches. On the line. So now I've got my cuts. Now it'll be a whole lot easier to put the roof cement and put my cuts in and not get it everywhere. Okay, so we're just going to take the shingles out, set them to the side. Now we're going to put roof cement just like we did on the drip edge. Basically a 6-inch swath, and I always try to leave a space right next to the vent, let the water drain. You can also put membrane or stripping paper on these. The shingles are going to bond to it. Now you just need the roof cement to come down past that last nail. You don't want to go down any further, because then it's going to stick out. This line right here, right there, is as far as you want to go down. where this shingle comes in right here. Somewhere right in there. Alright, so I'm just going to go down, not too thick. Leave a space. Right there. Get those couple of nails right there, just for fun. Get it so it's not so thick. Now in the back, if you wanted to get on the vent a little bit, that's fine. That's not going to hurt nothing. But again, I don't want to block any water. Never hurts to get that just a little bit right there. That's the spot that it leaks. There's a joint right there. Okay. Alright, so now our shingles. Line. Now this, where we want to nail it, is on that side of the roof cement. Okay, remember over here we got that little tab. That's going to keep us in line here. I got a horizontal line. Don't want a nail right here. You can put 2 nails. Okay. Okay. Now this area is where you can make an exception of not nailing, but you want to put some nails in the shingle. Put them up at the top. I've got a line again up there. This for 2 minutes. Now keep something in mind. This open key here has roof cement. One of the things that I've done in the past is I'll put a piece of shingle right there. So where my cuts are, I just take a piece and put it under there, and it'll have a little bit less mess. All right. So there you go, one 10-inch vent. If you wanted to put a neoprene, a screw with a neoprene washer or something down here, you can, but it'll be fine like that. It's not going anywhere. We've got it nailed down pretty far. Now when I go up on the roof and I see this, I can see that it's shed correctly. You got this shingle, the vent, this shingle, that shingle, that shingle. Now the shingles just proceed up from here. So here we are, got my other vent installed. Roof's in the shade now. It's not typical of a roof. So now I'm going to install this 6-inch vent. Here's my hole here. I I need to get the shingles laid up to it. Still got nails out here, so I want to go ahead and put one more row. Now some cases you may have a pipe sticking out, so you may have to cut the shingle in order to get it up there. Get it so that the airflow can get out whatever you're trying to vent, whether it be a dryer or a bathroom. Okay, so I like that better, where it's covering and now shedding on top of this shingle here. So I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to go ahead and make some marks. Exactly where to put it. You don't always have to do this, but it helps. Okay, so I'm ready to install the vent now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this front down just a little bit, so it'll sit tight when I put it down. I won't have to put any fasteners in it. The second thing I'm going to do is put some roofing cement. On the back, it's okay because the roofing cement is going to get covered, but in the front, I want to put the roofing cement towards the inside of the vent so that it doesn't bleed out onto the shingles. So I'm just going to basically seal it from the elements and from rodents and from anything else that may want to get inside. Pile it up too much, you just want to coat it on the vent. Flange here. Alright, now another thing that I normally do is I seal the back corners of the vent. Also do the front corners if you want. It's not going to hurt anything as long as you don't pile it up. If you start piling up the roofing cement, then it could end up inside whatever you're trying to seal. So now that I got my marks, I can just set that right down there and let it lay. Now remember, there's roofing cement. It's going to get places. Alright, so I'm using the existing holes just to get it set. Then I can nail it off. Okay. So my other shingle is going to go right here. So I don't want any nails going below that point. Right there. Right here. So right about that hole. So as I'm nailing it off, I want to be sure, so I can just keep that nail even with my others. Now this will definitely keep it in place. Now before I get it too gooped up, I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts. It's just going to come straight down. I'm just going to cut a U shape. Just over 8 inches. It's got roofing cement on it. Alright, so check it. Looks like I need to cut just a little more out. Roof cement on it too. Alright, now put it down. Line, I gotta so I'm just gonna turn it over, and I gotta be quick because I don't want my shingles to become glued. I'm just gonna give it a trowel width, maybe a 1/16 inch thick, kind of a bed to set the shingle in, and I'm not gonna let the roofing cement get past that line at all. Maybe to stay away from it about a 1/2 inch or 1 inch. There's that line right there, so I'm going to try to stay above it. In the back, you can seal the back if you want. I already sealed it inside, so I'm not super concerned with it. Not going to hurt nothing as long as you seal it all the way down. Alright. Now we'll put our shingle in. That's where you need to put it. We're not going to nail way up here close to the vent. We want to be way far away. Now since we have a key right there coming up on the next thing, I'm just going to not nail it right there. It's coming to get me. Oh, I lost my shingle. That red shingle will be a good one for right there. Got some roofing cement on my hands there. This is what I use to